I've been wanting to talk about friendship is magic for as long as I've had this here channel, but it feels like everything has already been talked about. I do have a lot of theories about my little human, though. I mean Equestria girls.
Your video tipping this up. On you.
Butt lovers! Welcome to the Athena P YouTube channel. Usually in the lore series, we overthink shows or movies that no one else is brave enough to, but with anything friendship is magic, none of this is uncharted territory. But you know what? We're having fun, and that's all that matters. Actually, you know what else matters? Your health. I hear so many people talking about aches, pains, rashes, you name it, and every time I have the same response. You should see a doctor. But the excuses roll in just as easily. Finding a doctor that takes my insurance is such a hassle. No one ever has appointments when I'm free. The list goes on and on. I'm no exception. I've been putting off finding a general care physician since I moved.
Huh?
I've been moved for a while. Time just flies by, but I recently booked an appointment with this video's sponsor, ZocDoc. Whether you just moved into a new area, got new health insurance, or even if you've just put off making an appointment because you don't know where to begin, ZocDoc makes finding the right doctor so much easier. ZocDoc is free to use. ZocDoc lets you search and compare local in-house doctors, and they have more than 150,000 providers within 200 plus specialties across all 50 states. And you don't even have to wait. Appointments happen fast, usually within 24 to 72 hours, and you can even score same-day appointments. Don't keep waiting. You deserve to feel your very best. Clicking the link in my description is a huge step to prioritizing your health. Head to ZocDoc.com/AthenaP to get started and check that appointment off your to-do list. Thank you so much to ZocDoc for sponsoring this video. Back to the video. The very first Equestria Girls movie takes place after Season 3, when Twilight only recently became an alicorn princess. She and her friends arrived at the Crystal Empire Castle for her first Princess Summit. There, Princess Cadance, Princess Luna, and Princess Celestia greet her. Twilight can't control her wings, and she laments to Spike that she's worried she'll be given a kingdom to rule, like how Princess Cadance got to rule over the Crystal Empire. The fact that they're all given the title of princess makes it seem like they're gonna govern equally, but Celestia and Luna are way more like queens. Crystal Empire is within Equestria, which Celestia and Luna rule over. If these two are presidents, Cadance is a governor, and Twilight does not have any land yet. This power imbalance is reflected in the other world as well, but we're not there yet. Hold your horses, I mean ponies. A cloaked figure appears creepily at Twilight's bedside table and steals her crown. You want to take a look at whoever did this dastardly act, and you're ready to back kick them with your hooves until this unicorn teleports in front of Twilight and we see her. Sunset Shimmer. One of the most gorgeous ponies ever. Argue with the wall. I'd let her keep the crown. Her color scheme, her hair in front of the horn, shit. No doubt she's serving. But why is she stealing? If she keeps this up, she'll soon be serving time in prison. Girl, you should be on the runway, not running away. Sunset Shimmer jumps in this mirror portal, and our heroes are befuddled. The princesses explain who that was and what the portal is, but I don't think they're being entirely truthful. Sunset Shimmer is an old pupil of Princess Celestia, and she wanted more. Celestia is very vague about what Sunset wanted, but for now, all we know is that she wanted more power. Sunset has been living in this mirror for, I don't know how long, but she has returned, and the portal is only open every 30 moons, which is about 2.5 years. Okay, everything is kind of making sense so far, but Celestia moved this mirror to the Crystal Empire for Cadance to look over, and unless they all lost track of time, they must have known it was going to open during the Princess Summit. Why would they make the Princess Summit the same day the mirror portal opens, and in the same place the mirror portal is? At the very least, hold the summit in the Canterlot Castle, or on a different day. What is going on? They left this giant window of opportunity open, they didn't have a plan, and they put Twilight in danger. Yeah, they're putting the newest princess in harm's way, who's the only one that didn't know about this fuck-ass mirror. Celestia claims she doesn't know about this world, but I think that's a load of malarkey, because she's known to keep secrets like this before. It's too early for my theories, but just know I don't trust a word she says. Including this excuse as to why Twilight's friends can't join her.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's going, we're going with her. Right, girls?
I'm afraid I can't let you go.
What? Why not?
Because you're not the main character.
Sending all of you could upset the balance of this alternate world.
She has to retrieve her element of harmony, but too many people would disrupt the balance. I have an idea, Celestia. Why don't you go? Sunset was your pupil. Seems like you'd know the most about how to deal with her. So now Twilight enters the unknown alone until Spike runs after her. He's a good friend. He's man's best friend? Why is Spike the dragon a dog in this world? He could have been a little brother, but no, because they're different species, they have him being a pet. So Equestria's backwards ideas about other magical creatures are translated here. Throughout the main series of Friendship is Magic, we even see tension between the unicorns, Pegasuses, and earth ponies, but they treat non-ponies even worse. Zecora the zebra, yaks, dragons, changelings, and many more are viewed as less than until we get to the friendship school in season 8. But anyway, at least they know what dogs are. Spike was able to identify what he was, but Twilight is beyond freaked out. She has no idea what she is. No horn, no wings, small nose. She doesn't know she's a human? But she's still purple. Everyone still has their rainbow color schemes. They're humans. H-U-E. Men's. Humans. Love that webtoon, by the way. Of course, we have the shenanigans of her learning to walk on 2 feet because this guy and his dog are judging the shit out of her. Is his dog a dragon in the pony world? We may never know. They enter this castle. They call it a castle. It's funny because it's a school, but Twilight's whole thing is that she went to magic school. She knows what a school is. We get it, this world is different, but this should be one of the few things she recognizes. Twilight doesn't recognize Sunset's shimmer, or even worse, this world's Fluttershy, who acts and looks exactly like her best friend. I tried so hard to suspend my disbelief, but when human Fluttershy told Twilight she found the crown and gave it to Principal Celestia, I felt like this movie could have been over in 2 seconds. Instead of immediately asking the principal for her lost crown back, she is so easily distractible.
I understand that Fluttershy found a crown this morning and gave it to you.
Yes, I've had Vice Principal Luna put it somewhere for safekeeping. No idea how it ended up on the front lawn. Were you interested in running for Princess of the Fall Formal this year?
No, not exactly. The truth is, you see, the crown is actually Princess of the Fall Formal?
What are you doing? She is more invested in the Fall Formal. So my sister theorized she was trying to prove herself as a leader, which would already be stupid. But guys, it's so much worse than that.
Twilight, why didn't you just tell her the crown was yours and ask for it back?
Thank you, Spike.
Oh, I was going to. But imagine if one of them showed up in Equestria saying they came from a place filled with tall, fleshy, two-legged creatures with these. We'd think they were crazy.
You don't have to share your backstory to get something back that belongs to you.
Excuse me, you dropped your wallet.
Did you hear me?
Oh no.
You dropped your wallet.
My name is Athena P. Sherman. I'm a 28-year-old YouTuber from New York. I have OCD. I'm currently treating it because even in my nightmares, when I do something wrong, I feel like a monster, and my dad hates me.
What?
Thank you for the wallet.
You make a good point.
She really doesn't. They just wanted Twilight to go like this. Tall, fleshy, two-legged. What is she doing? She's supposed to be the smart one. Yes, I know she gets anxious and overthinks and is quirky. Same. But the key part of that is overthinking. She came to this world and her teenage brain just isn't thinking at all. That's the other thing. Why are they in high school? Time must move slower here because in the pony world, all of our characters are adults, I'm pretty sure. Were the creators trying to reestablish who they wanted their demographic to be? Fair enough, but it makes some choices strange. Yeah, I'm talking about Twilight's crush on a high school boy. Also, not all of our characters from the pony world are younger. The Cutie Mark Crusaders are in high school here, which is much older than they are as ponies. As ponies, they're like 7. It is very convenient Twilight's human twin is the only one not here. I do like the foreshadowing though.
I thought you didn't look familiar. So, now that I'm really looking at you, do you have a twin sister who lives in the city, has a pet dog named Spike that looks just like that one?
Not only is Twilight the only one who can seamlessly be the new girl without there being a clone, but we also have the Princess of Friendship helping the human versions of her friends through a big friendship fight.
I want to show you something. You were friends once.
Whoa, we were? We already know Twilight. God.
Yeah, why are you looking through the yearbook looking into our business?
What convenient timing. I think Princess Celestia knew more than she was letting on. The plan is too perfect. I feel like she knew that human Twilight wasn't there yet. I feel like this was a test. Why are the human versions of her friends fighting? Well, a year ago, Sunset Shimmer broke them up by sending fake texts and emails, and Twilight got them back together by saying, "Hey, have you ever talked about this?" Turns out, no, they have not. It is pathetic, but not as pathetic as Sunset Shimmer. You gave up being a unicorn to bully some magicless humans? Also, you dated Flash Century?
What?
Why does this poor guy exclusively attract former horses? The only thing Sunset did to properly intimidate was allude to how much Celestia is hiding.
Pop quiz. What happens when you bring an element of harmony into an alternate world? You don't know? Seriously? And you're supposed to be Princess Celestia's star student?
But then she goes all Regina George on her. You'll never fit in this high school. Who gives a shit? I'm a pony princess. You can LARP with these primates all you want. I'm going home. Dude, half the runtime is dedicated to Flash and Twilight blushing at each other. I'm so sick of this. He does get her out of trouble when Sunset tries to incriminate her. He also stands up during the cafeteria song to shred on guitar in support of Twilight. Friends forever. I love that freaky bitch putting her book in her mouth in the library. Oh, the song's over?
This guy's weird as hell.
Also, how did they manage to whitewash characters with rainbow skin? Look at Vice Principal Luna. This pisses me off. Also, there's that power imbalance I was talking about. Celestia is the principal, Luna is the vice principal, Cadence is the dean of another school, and Twilight is a teenage student. But they're all princesses as ponies. The alternate universe also has no distinction between Pegasuses, unicorns, and earth ponies. Fluttershy in the very beginning of the movie had a stick to the status quo moment where she mentions clubs, but we breeze right past that, and now everyone's getting along after 2 songs. There could have been more done here. Also, you're telling me the high school's mascot is a horse? Celestia, I'm fucking on to you, dude. The climax of the film is Sunset Shimmer stealing the crown again that Twilight won from the fall formal. It would have been so much easier if Twilight just asked for it back within the first 10 minutes of the movie. And once the crown is on Sunset's head, she turns into a demon. She was finally a proper villain. She explains that she wanted the powers to take over Equestria all along. That makes way more sense. She almost hit Twilight with an evil ray, but Twilight's friends she's only known for 2 days risk their life to save her. This creates a friendship force field, obviously. Twilight monologues why Sunset is not as strong as them. The crown may be upon your head, Sunset Shimmer, but you cannot wield it! They have these semi-horse power-ups, and Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, and Twilight Sparkle all have their wings, but we don't see any unicorn horns. Strange. Also, that humiliating defeat really must have humbled Sunset Shimmer, because she just gives up. She doesn't want to rule Equestria, no! She just wants friends! All she ever wanted was friends the whole time. Yikes, good luck with that. Rainbow! The second movie, Rainbow Rocks, is near and dear to my heart because my sister and I saw it in theaters when it came out 12 years ago. 12. Wow! The songs in this movie are so much better, and Sunset's journey is really sweet to see. We open on our new villains, Adagio Dazzle, Sonata Dusk, and Aria Blaze. Great names. They're sirens and they get more powerful, feeding on rancid vibes. They make people fight so they can get more powerful. They were banished from Equestria and sent here. Okay, good news and terrible news. Which one do you want to hear first? I can't hear you. Good news, other species can also turn into humans. Yay. Bad news, Star Swirl the Bearded just dump them here? What a terrible thing to do to an almost completely magicless world. I say almost because all the girls are performing without Twilight and they're still able to channel their pony-ish powers. Usually they only have horse ears, but in some of the shots they have both ears and I hate it. Also, if I was Rarity or Applejack, I would be pissed I didn't get wings. They don't even know their pony selves. Sunset gets the cold shoulder from the whole school, understandably so, but the main five embrace her. She is very careful not to overstep, so she just watches them perform and cheers them on. She's on the sidelines because she doesn't want to push. She knows she's still on thin ice after the whole trying to fucking kill them thing. Every time the sun sets, there's a brand new tomorrow, and we can make it shimmer. Poetry. Imagine a single tear streaming down my face. It's clear Sunset's friends aren't as over the whole ordeal as they say they are, since they keep bringing it up.
Last thing she needs is another CHS event almost ruined by some power-crazed lunatic. No offense.
None taken.
Our main characters immediately know that the three new girls, Adagio, Sonata, and Aria, are up to no good. Sunset contacts Twilight with an old spell book from her studies with Celestia. You write something in the book, it appears back in Celestia's book in Equestria. They made texting magical.
Been a long time since I've written these words. Dear Princess Celestia.
Dear Princess Celestia.
What a beautiful nod to our main series. Twilight very easily opens up a new portal. Wow, that whole time limit stakes thing from the last movie didn't mean shit. And now she's reunited with the human versions of her friends. And her crush, too. The girlies immediately ask Twilight to be part of their band. Sunset stands there deflated, but she's afraid to show it. How long will she have to prove herself? Her and Twilight have this tiny bonding moment during the sleepover where they both complain about people's expectations.
Must be nice to have everyone always looking to you for answers to their problems, instead of waiting for you to cause a problem.
Just because everyone expects something from you doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen.
But that doesn't stop them from expecting it.
Which only makes things harder because the last thing you want to do is let everybody down.
Oh, yay.
Very, very cute. Twilight even almost asks Sunset for help on this spell, but no. Too early in the movie. Never mind, I have to do this on my own. Everyone's depending on me, and no one depends on you. Plus, if I ask now, there's no rest of the movie. During the auditions, tensions are rising. The sirens are making everyone enraged. Our girlies, the rain booms, are being sabotaged by the rest of the school, and Rarity was blamed for wearing metal. Applejack even kicks her, which hurt me tremendously. But one of my favorite songs of all time is Under Our Spell, where we see the competition progress and people are being launched via guitar solo. Put your hands up to the sky, whoa, whoa, which I thought was a really fun visual until I saw how concerned the girl group looked. No, Rainbow Dash, don't kill her! Speaking of our element of loyalty, she is loyal first and foremost to herself. She keeps talking over Fluttershy, she keeps making rude comments about everyone else's performance, and she's acting like the only one in the band with talent. This is the only problem bubbling to the surface before the sirens even got to the school. We know for a fact the sirens have nothing to do with Rainbow Dash being an asshole. She's just kinda like that. The thing that adds insult to injury, she's really good. Like, if we're supposed to hate the way she's acting, why did you make her slay so much? Sunset has a very awkward moment where she tackles Rainbow Dash to the ground mid-performance. Why? She panicked when she saw that Rainbow Dash's powers were showing, and they wanted to save the power-up for the finale to take down the bad guys, so I don't know what the consequences would be of her showing off the powers too early. I feel like I missed something, but regardless, the main six is pissed to the point where they aren't even defending her.
It wasn't a fit of jealous rage!
Damn, they made me feel bad for her so quickly. Sunset went from fucking Heather Chandler to Steven Universe. It's wild how much of this movie gets resolved through her contribution. Hey, Sunset here. I don't mean to be a bother, but have you noticed you're giving the creatures that feed on negative energy exactly what they want? Yeah, but we have the power of friendship on our side. I literally cut you off mid-screaming match that lasted over a minute. Does that sound like friendship? Friendship is about talking shit it out. And forgiveness. Can you imagine? I love how Sunset is the unofficial element of redemption and growth. It's been so long since I've seen this, but when Sunset got her solo and horse transformation, you know what? Maybe I got a freaking chill down my spine. And I love that when she got the power up, she wasn't hype about the actual magic. She was just so happy and relieved to be part of the group. Also, the Siren's final form is so sick. Dragon, mermaid, horse spirits. I actually needed way more of them like this. We have the Equestria girls unlocking the power of rainbow power friendship magic. I think they must have known that this power looks way cooler when they're ponies, because all of a sudden at the end of the battle, their loving musical energy formed a giant sparkly alicorn with a death ray. I'll never doubt them again. I love how when this evil trio's necklaces broke, they couldn't sing anymore. This is like Velvet and Veneer from Trolls before they existed. And then the cherry on top is Sunset writing to Princess Twilight instead of Princess Celestia. When I tell you, infinitely better than the first movie. Comeback of the century. I think this is my favorite movie out of all of them.
Twins.
In the third movie, Sunset Shimmer is desperately trying to reach out to Princess Twilight because the magic is out of control. And by out of control, she means sometimes the girls power up when they don't mean to. Ooh, horse ears and a long ponytail. So scary. It's not like they're accidentally hurting anyone. Who cares? This movie had an incredible ending, but it was painful to get there. Why is this movie called Friendship Games? Well, this is what they call their competition with the city school Crystal Prep. Human Twilight with glasses has been studying the strange energy emanating from Canterlot High. She has a whole corkboard with string, which includes the opening credits. She knows too much. She knows she's in a movie. She's conducting a study with this strange little device she invented, and she did all of this so she can apply for an independent study. She doesn't get along with anyone at her school, and she knows everything they're teaching already. She is eager to leave. I understand why she wants to leave. The Crystal Prep principal takes these friendship games so seriously, she threatens Human Glasses Twilight that she'll make sure the independent study doesn't happen if she refuses to play in the games. The Shining Armor slander was too much. You're telling me Twilight's brother was there and didn't stand up for her? Outrageous. It's weird that all the students from both schools are this intense about it because it happens every 4 years. This is the first and only time in these games, and they're like, oh, that school always beats us. No, they beat the students here before you. I don't know, man. School pride is weird. Who gives a shit? And my girly Sunset Shimmer actually says as much.
Seems kind of silly to me.
Silly? So, I guess you think the friendship games are silly too.
Well, it's not like we'll be fighting the powers of evil magic.
We've taken down magical creatures. This is such a non-issue. I agree! I love that in this movie, Sunset seems full of regret over leaving Equestria.
I'm sure in Equestria magic does whatever you want, but...
This isn't Equestria.
Well,
Yeah, leaving for this world is still the fumble of the century, but it's okay. I really thought the principal would be some sort of evil spirit, but no. She's just a regular schmegular asshole. She doesn't even have a pony she's based off of, and she's actively talking shit about the students in front of Principal Celestia and Luna, and they just let her? They are as bad at running schools as they are at being princesses. Good lord. During the actual games, it doesn't matter which school wins which event. Let's talk about Human Glasses Twilight accidentally draining the magic. Each of the main 6 has a moment where they feel great about what they contribute to their friends, even friends outside our main group, and they have a solo power-up. Really emphasizing individuality is nice, because the last movie was about working together, but this movie shows that you can shine on your own as long as your motivations aren't exclusively about you. Twilight's little invention keeps sucking up the magic. The tech becomes unstable, spitting out little portals to the pony world that looks like rips in their universe. The magic-sucking cyberdeck also causes Spike the dog, not the dragon, just the dog, to talk, just like our Spike from the other world. Same voice, obviously. Sunset is enraged that this Glasses Twilight doesn't have the answers she's used to Princess Twilight having. Quite the opposite. This Twilight accidentally brought a lot of trouble with her. Glasses Twilight begs, I want to know what's going on, I want to learn. And at that point, Sunset really rips into her and makes her cry. Damn, old Sunset popped out for a second. She immediately feels bad, but that outburst was necessary for Glasses Twilight's downfall. She's used to her whole school hating her for no reason. She comes to Canterlot High for these stupid games and everyone knows her name, but is confused why she's acting so different when she's never been there before. She's never met these people in her life, and the only people who extend kindness to her is this friend group until now. Back to this fucking principal. She accuses Rainbow Dash of cheating in the games because she powered up, and all she used her power up to do is save people. Sorry, I didn't realize how important this dirt bike race between schools is. Next time I'll let your students die. And truthfully, it's not an exaggeration to say this principal would sacrifice her own students if it meant winning these games. Her villain song pressures Glasses Twilight to unleash the magic. Unleash the magic. Unleash the magic. I love the Crystal Prep students acting as her little hyena chorus. The only lyric that was really stupid and made me roll my eyes is, we're not friends here after all. Wow, what a twist. You were all so friendly before this song.
Coming through! Seriously? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. Sorry. Why don't you go ahead?
You are such a sweetie! I am watching you.
You are kind of being a doormat right now.
We're 59 minutes into this movie, and this is where it finally gets good. The magic consumes her, and the way she begs for help, her scream, the terror on her and everyone else's faces, they had no reason going this hard. Then she turns into Midnight Sparkle, bitch. A demonic, evil, fucked up version of Twilight, and we finally see the horns. Let's go. Mess with the bull, get the fucking horn. It is an exact parallel to Sunset's evil moment, but reversed. Sunset saves Twilight. They are embracing the power of redemption and forgiveness. You are going to see this more in this series than in the horse one. Yeah, in the main series, our heroes kill a kid. Feels like maybe that baby should have been redeemed. But moving on from that, Sunset's goddess design, stunning. She zips up the damn tears in the fabric of their reality. They assure human Glasses Twilight it's going to be okay. And the last shot of the movie is Pony Twilight finally arriving, saying, sorry I'm late, before standing face to face with this world's Twilight. Perfect way to end Princess Twilight being a main character in this world. She is way too busy, she is a pony princess, and Sunset is the new main character, thank God. Okay, 2 things I learned from the wiki before I speedrun the last feature film. The fandom calls human Twilight Sci-Twi, and instead of the main 6, we have the humane 7. Awesome.
Now, who's excited for Camp Everfree?
So in the beginning of the Everfree movie, Sci-Twi is having nightmares about Midnight Sparkle, the evil form that overtook her in the last movie. Flash Sentry gets rejected officially by the human version of his crush.
That's rough, buddy.
And Sci-Twi crushes on the camp counselor. Now, how old is this guy? All of Letterboxd is just confused. They're shoving the straight agenda down our throats. I've been getting an influx of homophobic/biphobic comments recently, and guys, if you're surprised that the girl in full drag is part of the LGBT community, I don't know what to tell you. I fear you might be stupid. Since they're bunking together at camp, Sunset sees that Sci-Twi is able to levitate things. Twilight is immediately mortified, while Sunset Shimmer tries to assure her that this isn't necessarily a bad thing. They just have to address it. Twilight shuts this down. We see Flash Sentry trying to get back with Sunset Shimmer, but that's also shut down, and Muffins, aka Derpy, a fan favorite, comforts him yet again. I'm begging this kid to move on from former ponies. This is a terrible type. So almost the entirety of their camp life is dedicated to building a new dock. There's some very obviously unaddressed anger between Sci-Twi's new crush, Timber Spruce, and his sister, Gloriosa Daisy.
I wouldn't want you guys to miss out on doing other fun camp stuff because you're so busy building a dock for future campers.
So obviously this exchange plus filthy rich being seen at the camp implies that this super rich guy is trying to buy the land. Classic. Sunset is the only one questioning everything. Despite every character getting another power-up, they're not focused on as much. Love the powers though. Applejack is super strong, Rainbow Dash is super fast, Rarity can make these crystal shields, and at the end of the movie, she also made this chandelier. Fluttershy can talk to animals, Pinkie Pie makes shit explode. It's perfect. Sunset is the last to discover her unique power, but it's the power of empathy. She touches someone on the shoulder or the arm and she sees their backstory and worries. A certain finale is coming to mind right now, but in this case, it doesn't take up half of the runtime. Wow. Sunset helps Scitwi through her self-doubt and fear. She is quite literally the only person that can relate to her.
I've let magic turn me into a monster too. So if anyone understands what you're going through, it's me. I can help you, Twilight. And the rest of our friends can be there for you too. But not if you run away.
I'll stay.
And Sunset also had to encourage the others to practice their new powers because the rest of the Humane 7 are sick of having to practice magic. They just wanted a normal summer camp experience. Too bad. Imagine how sick the rest of the school must feel. Yeah, it must suck being the main characters. If you don't want your new magic, I'll take it. Shit. Their new powers stem from this cave with crystals containing magic from Equestria, of course. The person that discovered the cave first was the camp counselor Gloriosa. Gloriosa as the villain was incredible. The villain transformations are always my favorite part of these Equestria Girls movies. Gloriosa wanted to save Camp Everfree from being sold. She discovered this cave and the magic overtook her. The embodiment of the saying, "The path to hell is paved with good intentions." Love this vengeful mother nature. Gloriosa throughout the movie's catchphrase was, "I got this." And hearing it go from a cheerful little saying,
"I've got this, I've got this, I got this,"
to this angry growl,
"I got this, but I got this."
I laughed so hard. I love that so much. Also, the villain, as usual, had a song. She's singing the lyric for Everfree, like everything she's doing is for the camp, Everfree, but it also sounds like the word forever, forever free. And she's singing this while trapping people. When our girlies saved the day and freed Gloriosa from the magic, they were given the crystals that matched their colors. They were meant to have these power-enhancing geodes. They're this world's elements of harmony, I think. It was never confirmed, but this is beyond prophetic because it isn't an exact one-to-one of the pony world. There's 7 of them. In conclusion, Applejack and Rarity all the way, dude. They were holding hands, they were cutesy. This was the start of Equestria Girls shipping Rarajack. I live for it. Scitwi had to be the one to take over from here. I'm the one who reads. It had too much of a glare because I didn't realize there would be actual lenses in there. So I am Scitwi, I'm just wearing contacts right now, okay? Let's start with the Sunset Shimmer backstory seen in the comic The Fall of Sunset Shimmer. Sunset does a growth spell for this test, and she outdoes herself. This plant bursts through the ceiling. No regard for the school building, but Celestia is beaming with pride. I see some pony just passed her midterm. I loved seeing Twilight in the back of these shots, confirming that Sunset Shimmer is indeed older than her, which makes sense given that Twilight was Celestia's pupil after Sunset. We see Sunset's terrible people skills. She thinks her shit doesn't stink. They're all praising Sunset, and then they invite her to have lunch with them. I have better things to do than socialize. I'm going to reread Advanced Elemental Magical Practices, and then practice for my Advanced Summoning Spells exam. What are you studying for? Nothing. That's what. Listen, it's not horribly mean, but it is rude. It's clear she thinks she's better than them. At the start of the series, Twilight also failed to understand the value of being around peers, but at least she was more avoidant, and less, "I'll tell you to your face I don't think you're worth my time." That's not Twilight's style. That's why she's the main character of the cooler pony world. One of my biggest regrets is in a previous ranking things video, I said I understand why people hate Twilight and Pinkie Pie. I take that back. I'm a pony's pony now. I didn't used to be a pony's pony, but now I'm a pony's pony. Look at baby Twilight making the ball float. Oh, so cute! Celestia tries to reason with Sunset and preach about the importance of friendship. I think Celestia was 100% in the right, but as usual, her approach was a bit strange. I know we're catching Sunset at her lowest, and Celestia obviously trusts her more than we do, but if you're having a talk about humility in front of a mirror, why would you take the power-hungry student to the magical mirror portal? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you take her to a non-magical mirror? Why would you tell someone clearly in the throes of grandeur that they're not ready for the truth? You know what it is about Celestia that annoys everyone? She lacks tact. When Sunset is found looking for answers, Celestia gets mad. Why would they draw her like that? But here's another way she dropped the ball. As Sunset is throwing a tantrum, Celestia sends her guards to escort her from the castle. She's no longer welcome in the castle. Even though Celestia is beyond disappointed, she definitely should have escorted the rage-filled Frick herself. The guards were knocked out, and Sunset escaped into the mirror world, which is, of course, the human world. There's so much knowledge in here. Through the Mirror has the best dedicated section ever to all the humans who've ever wondered what it would be like to be a pony. Like hooves. Now, show of hooves. Who's a pony that wants to be a human? 1, 2. Okay, just one. Take fast. Okay, let's begin. Chapter 1, The Princess Summit. The castle of the Crystal Empire sparkled brilliantly in the midday sun. Ponies pranced around the kingdom running their daily errands in the market or playing outside in the gorgeous weather. Every pony was so busy that they didn't notice that 7 visitors from afar had just arrived through the front gate. It was 6 ponies and 1 small dragon. No. It's just the first movie in book form. Gross! On the bright side, this is a pre-owned copy, and there's a little diary section at the end. Let's read some kid's diary! So they tried to erase it, but I could still read. The meaning of magic. Write about what friendship means to you. So much! Decorations for a dream party. We have ribbons, mustaches. So 2013, mustaches. It's really hard to read because, again, they erased it. They didn't want somebody to do what I'm doing. But for photograph backdrops, I think they also said mustache land. What does that mean? What fun. Now let's move on to Sunset Shimmer's Time to Shine. Let's address the elephant in the room. Who is that? That doesn't look like Sunset Shimmer to me, like at all. I love that Sunset Shimmer is still learning how to socialize post-Rainbow Rocks. When she'd been invited to the study session, she hadn't seen any reason to bother going, but she'd only been thinking about herself. She hadn't realized that maybe she could help the others practice, that maybe they would have fun together in the midst of studying, and she could be part of it. She sighed. Another day as a human girl at Canterlot High, and she already had made a mistake about friendship. Sunset is on edge. The movies don't show off her thought process, so it's very interesting to see her spiral about every tiny non-issue. What color do you want to paint your toes? Asked Pinkie Pie. I want to paint my toes pink like yours, Sunset Shimmer answered, and then immediately regretted her answer. Was she just copying? Was there anything original about her at all? Relax. Sunset begins investigating the cause of the magic, just like she does in the movie that takes place after this. This is before Sunset meets scitwi, and yet Sunset invents a little magic measuring machine, much like scitwi does, like a month later. I smell trouble! I do love this moment of genuine care and vulnerability. Can I ask you a question? That's Fluttershy. Anything, said Sunset Shimmer. What do you miss most about Equestria? What? Sunset Shimmer was stunned. No one ever really asked about her old life. Do you miss your pony friends there? My friends? Sunset Shimmer hadn't really had friends there. Mostly she had focused on figuring out the secrets to Celestia's magic so she can be the supreme ruler of the pony world. Not really, she said. I was different back then. What a thoughtful question. What a good friend. You know what else a good friend does? They tell you to duck! That's so embarrassing. This poor girl keeps getting in her own way. Sunset, you fool! You can't learn about the magic of friendship Alone? Tears fell from Sunset Shimmer's cheeks, blotching the ink on the page as it all poured out of her. All the other girls have something that makes them special. They are athletic and creative and artistic and good with animals, and I'm not really good at anything. Except I used to be good at magic, and I thought maybe I could somehow be Canterlot High's very own magic investigator. I tried to make magic happen, and instead all I did was ruin everything. Applejack's donuts are burnt, and Fluttershy's animals are missing, and it's all my fault. She wouldn't be surprised if she didn't hear back from Twilight Sparkle. How many times could the princess forgive her? But within an instant, the journal was glowing again. Maybe you've been investigating the wrong thing at Canterlot High. You've already learned a lot about magic. Maybe now it's time to learn about something else. Do you think you could really be a student again? Are you ready to learn? What can each of your friends teach you? That's the important question. This lesson seems so straightforward, but people need to hear this. You don't have to crack the code, theorizing and guessing how and why people are good at what they're good at. You can just ask them. Hey Fluttershy, Sunset Shimmer called out, but Fluttershy didn't move. She held her finger to her lips and motioned for Sunset Shimmer to come close. What are you doing? Whispered Sunset Shimmer when she was right beside her. Listening, Fluttershy said softly. They are lost and lonely. They want to be found. That's what you need to know. If we are very, very quiet and listen, I'm sure we'll find them not too far from here. That's all we have to do? That's it, Fluttershy smiled. Listen, why don't you use your whistle? Outside and far away from me, it would only confuse them. That's just for tricks, not finding their way home. Okay, then I'll go looking and listening. Can we say hell yeah? I also love this prompt and how the kid responded. In times of trouble, what would Sunset Shimmer do without Twilight? It's important to have someone in your life to offer guidance and talk with you when times are tough. Who is your special advisor? Sunset would be the ruler of the school. Not at all what they were asking. But is the kid wrong? I love that this kid very obviously only read the first question. What would Sunset Shimmer do without Twilight Sparkle? Sunset would be the ruler of the school. Yes, but they were trying to ask who you turn to for advice, and that just went, love it. I'm bored. Sunset would be the ruler of the school, duh. Now, on to Twilight's sparkly sleepover surprise. This book takes place right after the friendship games. Honestly, it was the strangest thing that has ever happened to me. Make that the second strangest. Confused, Twilight Sparkle gave the girl an awkward wave. The girl behind her bust out laughing. Well, I'll be, Applejack grinned. Twilight Sparkle? Meet Twilight Sparkle. Princess Twilight Sparkle from Equestria, meet Twilight Sparkle, the new girl who just transferred to Canterlot High from Crystal Prep, explained Sunset Shimmer helpfully. Twilight with glasses, is obviously not going with this without an explanation first. It's nice to meet you too, she said shyly. But how come we look alike? How could the girls explain it? There's a world with magic, began Rarity. That's the world you tapped into during the friendship games, Rainbow Dash interrupted. And everyone there is a pony, and each of us has a pony who shares our name and looks exactly like us, or only really looks like us when they come to our world like Sunset Shimmer and Princess Twilight did. Only we've never met our pony pairs before. This is the first time for any of us, gushed Pinkie Pie. I love that they're so casual about this. I would be freaking out. I would have a what came first, the chicken or the egg conundrum. Is Pony Athena more real than me, Athena? Did our worlds form at the same time? I'm scared. The asshole students from Crystal Prep continue to bully Scitwi even post-demon transformation. They're playing with fire and I hope they get burned. I know that sounds harsh, but just listen to this. We're telling you these things because we're your friends, Sugarcoat added. But you're not my friends. Twilight Sparkle looked confused. We could have been, you just didn't know how to act right, Sour Sweet explained. The other girls nodded in agreement. They clustered close to Twilight Sparkle, Sunny Flare still holding the phone. You've gotta try to be cool for once, explained Sour Sweet. Yeah, don't be such a goody-goody. Don't believe everything these girls tell you. They're sizing you up. They might drop you tomorrow, Sugarcoat warned. I hate them. I want them gone. Now Scitwi is at the titular sleepover. Let me know if this part seems a bit out of character. Oh geez, cried Applejack. Now I'm gonna look like one of the Dazzlings. Are not, said Rainbow Dash. Never. Fluttershy shook her head. Who are the Dazzlings? Asked Twilight. It's a long story, don't worry about it. You just paint one of Applejack's nails. Okay, agreed Twilight, but she felt a little lost and a little left out. Had Applejack said that on purpose? She didn't think so, but she couldn't get the Crystal Prep girl's advice out of her head. I don't know, I just don't feel like Rarity would be that dismissive. Maybe she just didn't want to scare her with all of the magical stuff? What do you guys think? Scitwi is learning to trust her intuition, and she's starting to notice that the Crystal Prep girls are miserable. Why don't you climb first, Twilight Sparkle? I'll hold the belay rope. You can trust me. You know I'm reading as Rainbow Dash when I sound like JoJo Siwa. Hope this helps. I know I can. That's what friends do. They trust each other. Twilight Sparkle was beaming. How did she know that? She just did. She can feel it inside of her. She saw the Crystal Prep girls a moment later. They were shaking their heads like she had said something stupid. It was true. Twilight Sparkle hadn't thought about what she was saying, but she knew it was true. She just did. Here's another example. At the height of her happiness, Twilight Sparkle noticed the Crystal Prep girls sitting at the corner table. Sunny Flare was scowling as she scanned the room. Sour Sweet was drumming her fingers like she was bored. Sugarcoat was absorbed in her phone. Twilight Sparkle had always thought they were friends, but she suddenly realized they never seemed to be having any fun together. Even with that reassurance, they explore the fear that comes with the mindfuck that your friends befriended your twin from another world before you. Pinkie Pie laughed. I've seen the way he looks at you in class. He likes you because he likes you. That's what I think it means. About Flash Sentry, of course. It's not just because I look like Princess Twilight. That was one of Twilight's lurking fears, that these girls liked her only because she looked like their old friend. What would happen when they found out what she was really like? What if she turned into Midnight Sparkle again? Would they still like her? I wish they explored that more. I would be so insecure if everyone was like, oh, you're the second Athena P we've ever met. And the last Athena P that we met, that can't be here right now because she lives in another world. Yeah, we were like this with her. We were best friends with her. She looked exactly like you. I'm sure we'll like you too, I think. Everything escalated when they were playing Truth or Dare with the Crystal Prep girls. I hate to have to do this, began Sunny Flare. What? Asked the girls. It says, do your best impression of, she paused, Midnight Sparkle. Here it goes. She stood up and held her arms over her head and opened her mouth wide as she could. She rumpled up her hair. She crossed her eyes. She howled and bellowed. Everyone froze. It was awful. It was mean, really mean. Tears were welling up in Twilight Sparkle's eyes. Stop that right now, ordered Sunset Shimmer. You're ruining the party, said Sour Sweet. Why do you always have to do that, Sugarcoat asked. Why can't we have fun for once? Why can't we just be nice to each other like these girls? These are her own friends. Rarity cleared her throat. This is my house and my spa party. We're not playing games like this anymore. Maybe you should just go home. A true friend helps a friend in need. Also, a friend will be there to help them see if you didn't know, okay? Everything works out in the end, and Sci-Twi even encourages the girls to all get along and they learn from their mistakes. They immediately apologized. We get to the journal section, and this is a new copy. I guess I get to do these sleepover activities. True or false? Rainbow Dash loves fussing with fashions.
What? True?
Wrong. That's Rarity. Okay. Let's do one that's like more of a long response answer. Okay? How would you help a friend who is feeling a little shy or scared about spending the night at your house? This shit was so much fun. With a time loop plot, there are so many directions to go. So the special Sunset's Backstage Pass that we're going to talk about in a bit is the perfect special to inspire a choose-your-own-adventure book. There's only one ending that's based off of the good ending we see in the movie, and then we have one other alternate good ending, and it's a really weird one. So basically, to stop the time loop, she has to disrupt time. So she has to do something that is very much unlike her. Find the cutest guy at Star Swirl and ask him out. Twilight, if your hypothesis does break the time loop, I'll really be asking him out. So she ends up going on a date with this unnamed guy, and right before they kiss, she's launched back in time when they're buying the tickets for the music festival. Okay, so there are 2 good endings. How many bad endings are there? 5. And they're brutal. There are these bickering bandmates, and Sunset can't believe she's stuck here forever with these 2. Some of them she doesn't even break the time loop. Another solution is that she kept trying to drive away from the festival. She tried this once in the special and it didn't end up working. Sunset walks on, sadly appraising the happy faces around her, unaware that they've lived this day 100 times and in all likelihood will live it 100 more. Sunset's resigned to her fate. To no one, she mutters, you could spend eternity trying to make everything perfect, and it never will be. Deep, a voice agrees. Could this be the culprit behind the time loop? But then Sandalwood steps out of the shadows. Kinda makes me think like This is the first day of the rest of our lives, you know? Sunset sighs. I know better than you could possibly imagine. Who the hell's Sandalwood? Okay, so this person. Random. Here's the worst one. Here's the very, very worst one. Whoosh! A purple light splits the sky and suddenly it's morning again. She did it! But before Sunset can celebrate, the sun rises again, and again, and again. The day is still repeating, except now it's on fast forward. Sunset walks through the festival, bewildered as it blurs around her. The crowds rush by, moving at super speed. Bands play for an instant and then are done. What has she done? Sunset sighs. Turns out, ripping the fabric of space-time can have some unintended consequences. Hypothesis tested. Mission failed. The end. So she's just stuck like that forever? Absolutely wild for a kid's book. Can I just say? This is also much different from the Choose Your Own Adventure shorts on YouTube. Those are way lower stakes.
This is suede! If it gets wet, it's ruined!
And something else very funny I have to point out. They put the Choose Your Own Adventure clips in an unrelated compilation with no explanation. So we just get these uncomfortably long clips like Rarity crying that lasts forever. Sorry, Rarity, there's no decision for me to make here. Special. Tales of Canterlot High is made up of 3 sections: dance magic, movie magic, and mirror magic. And the magic in each crescendos. Starting with the least magical, the girls are trying to fundraise to pay for the ever-free camp repairs. There's a dance contest going on with a big cash prize, hence the name Dance Magic, and when Rarity signs them up, she runs into old foes from Crystal Prep. These motherfuckers again. We hear some good news: the old principal was fired, Cadence got a promotion, our queen. It is really nice that we get that confirmed, because the principal was really let off easy at the end of that movie. I mean, to be fair, almost all the villains get it easy at the end. More than half of them are redeemed. The only villains in this series that have fully lost so far are the Sirens and this principal. The Crystal Prep students, of course, take advantage of Rarity's openness, so when Rarity shares her music video idea, the Crystal Prep girls steal it. This special was cute. The 2 groups end up teaming up, combining their strengths. It's good closure for the friendship games. It's better than the sleepover book. The sleepover book made them look way too malicious. In movie magic, we see the Humane 7 on the movie set of Rainbow Dash's favorite action series, Daring Do. We know about this from the main series, so I thought we'd see Daring Do, but they only have an actor playing her. That doesn't stop this show from dropping the action hero's pen name, A.K. Yearling.
A.K. Yearling is very hands-on when it comes to the sets and props for the movie.
So is she a hero as a human too? We don't know, but the merch definitely implies this. So if we're not focusing on who wrote the movie / who the movie is potentially about, what's going on here? The director's niece, Juniper Montage, in a fit of jealous rage, hides all the props to try and make the lead actor on a tight schedule quit the movie. Juniper Montage wants to play Daring Do. She does that classic villain thing where she runs away in a hooded cloak. I wonder if that brought Sunset Shimmer back to the first movie. Bad times. Bad times. Rainbow Dash tried to use her super speed to catch up to the culprit, but ended up being lured into and locked in a closet. And Scitwi used her telekinesis to unlock it. She still got it! What a cool way to use that power! Juniper, of course, is fired from that set, which leads us to mirror magic. More magic leaked from Equestria, surprise, surprise, and it finds its way into the mirror Juniper is holding. It shows her who she wants to be. A star with adoring fans. But this escalates into her trapping most of the girls inside the mirror. At first, Sunset is safe because she traveled back to the Pony world. Twilight finally wrote back to her and told her to come to Equestria. Twilight didn't answer for so long. And what does she reach out to Sunset about? Oh, you're running out of pages in your interdimensional texting book. Here's a new one since you can't stop blowing up my line. Also, Twilight isn't even there to give her the book. Damn. When Sunset travels through the portal, she meets Starlight Glimmer. Here we go. If you don't know, I think that Starlight is a better villain while Sunset is a better hero. And again, I would have to watch more of Starlight's journey before really casting judgment, but what it looks like to me is that she's just reheating Sunset's nachos. I will say, Starlight's human design is adorable. I love the beanie. But the moment Starlight is brought to the human world for the first time, Sunset is captured in the mirror. Dude, you used your empathy powers to see where your friends are, and you couldn't dodge a single attack? Bruh. Nope. She just needed to be trapped as well so Starlight can have her big human moment. Don't you have enough, Starlight? No, Juniper, it doesn't have to be this way. Oh no, maybe you're right. Maybe I wanted friends all along. We've seen it before. I will say, at this point, they're self-aware of how repetitive the formula has gotten, because they too poke fun at it.
We've all been there.
Really? Manipulated an entire town into giving up their talents so they wouldn't think they were special. Overpowered by magic I couldn't control and created a rift between two worlds, almost destroying both of them in the process.
Turned an entire school into my own personal zombie army in hopes of conquering a distant pony world.
Wow, we are a really forgiving group.
Even though Juniper's story isn't the most interesting, I will say I love her design. The film, hair ties, and hat is super fun. Her pony self in merch artwork needs the flair of the usual accessories, but still, fun. I completely forgot I watched Forgotten Friendship, the special where all of Sunset's friends forgot about her redemption. Dude, someone must have used the memory stone on me. So yeah, there's this character named Wallflower. She makes such a non-impression on everyone and gets so pissed she uses the memory wiping stone from Equestria to target Sunset specifically. I'm gonna be so real with you, I hate Wallflower. Can the magic of friendship include not guilting people and not forcing them to be your friend? Shit. You know what's funny? I watched this 3 years ago for another video, and I just accepted Sunset's backstory powers. At that point, I didn't see how she got them, but I just said, yep, no questions here. I guess she can just do that. Sunset travels back to Equestria to learn more about this specific kind of magic, and this is when Celestia and Sunset finally make up. We've been waiting for this. This is also where I misheard what books Twilight was reading.
Flashback.
When they were in the forbidden section of the library, Twilight was really excited reading about Canterlot's cannibals.
Can you believe they have Canterlot Cannibals Volume 31?
I still hear her say cannibals, but apparently she says canticles, and canticles is a hymn or poem. The Memory Stone was brought to the human world before Equestria was even founded. These ponies have been messing with the human world for a long time. The great and powerful Trixie is very funny in this movie. Very endearing. I felt like they did a good job showcasing her character after she became a fan favorite. It does seem really random that she acts like no one understands her, when it seemed like she had two really good friends in the Rainbow Rocks movie that performed with her. Speaking of, Trixie used to be quite the antagonist, but hey, what's a little locking us in the basement between friends? Enemies are just future friends that haven't apologized and trauma dumped on you yet. Sunset sacrificed herself so her friends wouldn't lose their memories from high school. And when it happened to her, you could see the film of her memories leaving her head. It reminded me of what happened to Grace in Infinity Train, but way less graphic. That's not to say they don't launch into the psychological torture, because for the other 6, high school memories are just memories from high school. Duh. But for Sunset, it's her memory of being a human, period.
This isn't Canterlot. Where am I? Princess Celestia? What's happened to me? Some pony, help me.
Even before that, as the memories are being ripped from her head, she is screaming their names in agony. The friends destroy this rock with a friendship beam, and Pinkie Pie, impatient as shit, cuts off the usual friendship monologue.
Nothing compared to the magic of— Yeah, we get it! Light her up, lady!
Fuck you, Wallflower, you hating-ass boring bitch. Cool villain plot wasted on such a blah, nothing character. I wouldn't befriend you if you were the last human on Earth. I hate Wallflower, man. Two absolute stinkers of villains in a row. In Roller Coaster of Friendship, we have an influencer villain.
Daring today, aren't we?
And if that isn't overdone enough, what do you think an influencer villain will say after she's defeated? I have 3 million followers and no real friends. The villain's phone gets Canterlot magic and gains the ability to teleport anyone she takes a photo of. And throughout the special, we think our heroes are trapped in her phone, just as they were in the magic mirror, but no, dude. They were just in a random room at the fair. I wouldn't even be talking about this special if not for the fact that Rarejack, dude, Rarejack is canon. It's real, Applejack was jealous, and then they were blushy, and we're all happy and we're all cheering until the next specials.
I hate him! I hate him!
On this month of all months, at least purple-haired Dirk is just a country singer Applejack is a fan of in these choose-your-own-adventure shorts. Ragamuffin and Rarity almost kissed in the very next special after the gay one. And it's worse because even though they look like the other and it's laughed about and acknowledged, they act more like the ones who are crushing. Freckled Ragamuffin has a British accent and is shopping. Purple-haired Dirk is a country singer. I hate it here. Why are they doing this? Other than pissing me off, Spring Breakdown and Sunset's Backstage Pass feature even more equestrian magic, so let's finally discuss how these worlds are connected. So as for the relics, we've seen the portal itself, Twilight's element of harmony that was briefly in the human world, the sirens and their necklaces, the magic that exists in each of our friends that are amplified by these crystals they find in Camp Everfree, the magic mirror Juniper used, the memory stone, and the stupid phone thing. Already a lot. My brain is pudding. But just as this series always does, it escalates. During Spring Breakdown, they're all on a cruise, and Rainbow Dash keeps provoking fate. She wants to do another magical power-up so badly. She even goes so far as to ruin her friend's time because she's looking for trouble everywhere. You'd think the lesson would be sometimes we can just relax, but no! Rainbow Dash ends up being correct. There's this symbol in the sea, she goes off on her own to investigate, and Sunset is so fed up she snaps, pushing Rainbow Dash into some quicksand. The end. I can't trick you guys. Sunset and Twilight go off to save Rainbow Dash from herself, but then they see these plants are alive, and what we thought was quicksand was actually another portal to Equestria. Who knows how many there are? I love that human Rainbow Dash in the pony world has her wings turned down because she's very confused about how to use them. I love that Twi has her glasses and no wings. It just makes sense. Anyway, at first the three of them are just hanging out with their pony friends, blissfully unaware of the storm back at home. That is until Princess Twilight shares her friends' adventures, and she gets to the time they all took down the Storm King. Hey, that symbol looks kind of familiar. Yeah, turns out some of the Storm King's magic escaped into the human world. It's also implied that the magic from Equestria is attracted to the magic that exists in the Equestria girls' world. Not to mention, it's more or less confirmed in the short Overpowered. All their powers are supercharged. Sunset can hear everyone's thoughts without even touching them. Twilight was lifted into the sky. All of the animals are following Fluttershy. Applejack yanked her locker door off, Pinkie accidentally exploded a bunch of shit, and turns out all of their powers were amplified because Rainbow Dash has been using her super speed for everything. More magic for one causes more magic for all. Okay, back to the Spring Breakdown special. They suck up the storm using this magical relic that Princess Twilight gave them. They save people from this sinking ship. That's it, right? Well, no.
I might have a way home. We're back!
I just feel like keeping these portals open and using them willy-nilly probably isn't the best decision. That's probably why more magic keeps seeping in. In the special Sunset's Backstage Pass, we have a classic Groundhog's Day plot, meaning one character gets stuck experiencing the same day over and over again. That's what our Choose Your Own Adventure book is based off of. Sunset gets stuck in this time loop right after Pinkie Pie gets them kicked out of the concert they were both looking forward to. Pinkie Pie is acting very selfishly, but it's played up like Sunset's being the asshole. I really don't see it, to be honest. Sunset thought this time loop was accidentally her doing because she wished she could have a do-over of the day, but after she had her perfect concert experience, she was weirded out that she was still stuck in this time loop. Sunset writes to Princess Pony Twilight. Twilight informs her that she stumbled into another ancient equestrian artifact.
And it looks like you found another long-lost equestrian artifact. The Time Twirler.
Lucky me.
She is so over it. We get a little comeback from the sirens, let's go! And they aren't redeemed per se. They even mutter human scum under their breath, but they're just dealing with the consequences. They've pretty much come to terms with their fate. The Time Turner was actually in the possession of the musical duo Pinkie Pie and Sunset Shimmer are fans of, Post Crush, made up of Kalo and Sue Z, who are trying to make their performance perfect. But nothing is perfect. Good lesson, fun time. So yes, it's implied that Equestria magic that enters this world has a ripple effect, and this has been going on for centuries. The question I pose is, was this world created because of equestrian magic? Every action has an equal opposite reaction, which makes me think, oh, you're sticking magic in another world, you're trying to avoid it by throwing it in a portal, only for a different version of you to have to finish the job? I fully think that this human world was created as a consequence of magical equestrian creatures running away from their problems. I also think some humans know more than they're letting on. I theorize that some humans had magic before Twilight even got there. Who? Hear me out. Pinkie Pie the pony and Pinkie Pie the human are connected via their dreams. Listen to their outbursts. Listen to how much they know.
You see, you're from an alternate world and you're a pony princess there, and the crown actually has a magical element embedded in it that helps power up other magical elements, and without it, they don't work anymore, and you need them to help protect your magical world. And if you don't get the crown tonight, you'll be stuck in this world, and you won't be able to get back for like a really, really long time. He just totally reminds you of a guy you met in the other world who played guitar and was in a band and helped prove he didn't destroy all the decorations for a big dance, so you can still run for princess at a big dance and then ask you to dance at that dance? Right? How did you know that? Just a hunch.
I know, it was just a silly joke. What a stretch. I mean, we never see inside Pinkie's head. Oh wait, we do. Look at this scene from The Legend of Everfree. I also think Sunset was always meant to exist in the pony world and human world. We see Sunset's living space in the beginning of Forgotten Friendship. Where does she live? She doesn't have human parents, right? She traveled from Equestria, and we never see human Sunset. Sunset's cutie mark even reminds people of yin and yang. Many theorize it was meant to imply both the human and pony side of herself. What if Sunset was a human first, but was born from one parent traveling from Equestria who has a thing for humans? This interspecies, interdimensional relationship is not uncommon. I mean, look at Flash and Pony Twilight. What if Celestia took Sunset because her magic was unstable and throwing the human world off? What if Celestia took Sunset to the mirror because she was always meant to return home? And she ended up getting there even before Celestia thought she was ready. Yes, Sunset was arrogant, but deep down inside she knew her purpose. Or if we're making the bloopers canon, where the Equestria girl's magic is all fake, but we do see human Rainbow Dash flying on Pegasus Rainbow Dash's back, maybe Sunset's eternal punishment for going against Celestia's orders is making movies with the clones, pretending to have magic when she doesn't at all? Nah, I hate that. Therefore, I don't believe it. Another popular theory I heard is that Sunburst and Sunset Shimmer are siblings. I'm not opposed to that, I just don't know enough about this man. What do you guys think? Butt lovers, I sure hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hype, all that bullshit. We're so close to 300,000 subscribers. I know I've been saying this for like a year now, but it's true. And we're gonna get there through the power of friendship, dude. Have a great day. I do demand it. Bye!